He looked sensational his last fight. Oh, sensational. No fighter, and you as my witness, as any expert, no fighter,
This is another neck exercise that I got from Mike Tyson. A lot of wrestlers do this. Quite dangerous actually. Physios don't like this type of stuff, but it's good for neck conditioning. It's called neck bridges. And it's flexibility and strength at the same time. So it's a really good exercise if you want to strengthen up your neck area.
Side movements, Rio can get a punch off.
Right, and you like aggressive action fighters.
Aggressive in action, yes, that was awesome. And throws a lot of punches. He threw a lot of active, masterful boxing, punching like Willie Pepper. It was brilliant.
Breaking moment in boxing as Mike Tyson reacts to Anthony Joshua's training footage and openly admits that he sees himself in AJ's punching style. Tyson is impressed by the raw explosiveness and timing, saying AJ is starting to deliver shots with the same kind of brutal impact he was known for. This is a huge statement from a legend comparing generations at the highest level.
No one said who was better. I said there's nobody in boxing that fighting at a level. That he has a lot of talent and not to get discouraged. He only loses when he quits. When you quit, all the doors of opportunities close. You know what I mean? You just have to be game. Don't get discouraged if you lose. Listen, you just lost. You may have got $30 million. You should give Usyk a kiss. Say, can we do this again? Don't let this internalize you. Oh, I can't fight now. This white boy kicked my ass. People laughing at me. No, he kicked my ass for $50 million or $30 million. I hope he kicks my ass again. Now, this time it might not work out that way. I'm gonna kick his ass. I just think the more time you lay off, the worse you get. You have to fight to be the best. You have to do it more and more.
Tyson Fury reacts in typical explosive fashion as the rivalry with Anthony Joshua heats up again. This comes right after Mike Tyson praised Anthony Joshua's punching power, comparing it to his own style. Fury clearly leans into mind games, mocking AJ while still showing the obsession to face him and prove dominance in the ring.
I just want to say, AJ's a big fat sausage. For sure.
There
Yeah.
we go. We're live.
Shall I say a big useless sausage?
You can say whatever you want, Tyson.
Yeah.
This is your stream.
AJ, I know it's been rattling your cage. You big useless sausage. I want to.
Anthony Joshua shows a calm and focused attitude here as he discusses a potential clash with Deontay Wilder. He makes it clear he is open to the fight and not avoiding anyone, keeping himself active in the heavyweight picture. His stance reflects confidence and readiness for the biggest challenges in the division.
You really want Deontay Wilder.
I think it's simple. When I've listened to what he's been saying, that there does need to be one champion and one face. And we've both got an opportunity where I have no mandatories, he has no obligations.
Eddie Hearn sets a very serious tone here by confirming that Anthony Joshua is ready for the biggest names in boxing. The confidence in taking on both Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury shows how highly they rate his current condition. It keeps Anthony Joshua right at the center of heavyweight boxing plans with massive fights being lined up.
I mean, we have made it clear that we are willing to fight Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury back to back. And I'm not being disrespectful that Wilder is a warm-up fight, but AJ's very comfortable to go into that fight next. That's not the basis of the deal that we've been offered, but it's definitely one we're interested in if it was offered. And if they want to look at that route, I think some might perceive that to be a more dangerous option, especially when there's so much riding on Tyson Fury against.
Tyson Fury speaks with full confidence and aggression as he dismisses Deontay Wilder completely, while pushing his own name as the ultimate test. His tone shows dominance and belief in past victories, but it also keeps the heavyweight division loud and chaotic with every major name pulling in different directions.
Like, I've come back, I've been out the ring 16 months, coming off 2 losses. He's just had a good win himself and knocked Jake Paul spark out, done everyone a favour, yeah? I like Jake, just say that. But listen, he done give everyone what they wanted, knocked him clean out, yeah? Not me, but everybody else. And now they're on about, let's do a Wilder warm-up. Why do they want to fight Wilder for? Fight the fucking Gypsy King. Fuck Wilder, he's a bum. I've battered him 3 times. Wilder...
Deontay Wilder makes his intentions very clear here as he calls out anyone in the heavyweight division without hesitation. There is no selective approach in his message, just pure willingness to fight. His presence still carries danger because of his knockout reputation, keeping him a constant threat for both Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury in any future matchup.
It wasn't a strange, it wasn't a few words, I adapted up with him and I said, now let's get it on. And it was simple as that.
Is that the fight you want next, Deontay?
I'm ready for whoever, it's whoever. As long as these guys is in the heavyweight division, I'm here. Like I said, you can call me Mr. Clean because I want to clean up the whole division. The heavyweight division is nothing without Deontay Wilder.
Frank Warren lays down a firm reality check about the situation, making it clear that nothing moves forward until agreements are signed. He reinforces that Tyson Fury is fully prepared and waiting for action, rather than delays or negotiations dragging on. This adds pressure on the entire heavyweight scene, especially with Anthony Joshua still being linked to the biggest possible fights. The message is simple: either the fight happens or the division keeps spinning in circles with no final answers.
He hasn't signed up for that fight. That's the position. And until he does, it's pointless talking about it. Tyson's ready to go. He's there, ready, willing, able. He's not going to sit around forever, but he's there and he wants to do the fight. And that's where...
Simon Jordan highlights the pressure surrounding Anthony Joshua and the expectations that come with being in the spotlight at big boxing events. He suggests that every move is being watched and interpreted, especially when Tyson Fury is involved. This shows how every appearance and reaction from Anthony Joshua fuels speculation about a potential super fight. It also underlines how both fighters are constantly linked, whether they officially agree to it or not, keeping the rivalry alive in public discussion.
And they know where the situation lies, which is up to Anthony Joshua. If he feels he's ready to fight Tyson Fury, then that fight can happen. But he may well not feel that. And I do think that ultimately Anthony, sitting there at ringside, would have known what was coming, would have known there's an expectation for him to have some sort of interaction with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury doesn't just arrive back on the scene and Anthony Joshua sit ringside and doesn't expect to have an interaction.
Max Kellerman points out a very strategic angle from Anthony Joshua, suggesting that his approach is controlled rather than rushed. By taking his time, Anthony Joshua positions himself to enter negotiations from a place of strength. This creates a situation where timing becomes just as important as the fight itself. It also keeps fans guessing about when he will actually step in with someone like Tyson Fury, adding more tension and anticipation to the heavyweight landscape.
Anthony Joshua said he would take the fight, but on his own time. After the fight, AJ said he's still dealing with a lot of things, but he'll be ready, guys. And the quote was, as I said, on his own time. It looked to me like AJ was staking out a negotiating position. How did it look to you?
Yeah, I think it was a power move from Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn to say, hey, we're the ones in control. Obviously, they are not, right? Tyson Fury is the cash cow.
Yes, he is. I'm the landlord is what he
right,
said.
Come on, he's the tenant, let's be real. But I liked it, it was a great line. And Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, this is similar to Mayweather Pacquiao. It's gonna happen past when we wanted to see.
Duke McKenzie explains the psychological battle between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, showing how both fighters control their own narratives. Anthony Joshua refuses to be drawn into emotional traps or public shouting matches, choosing to stay composed instead. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury uses confrontation to generate attention and pressure. This contrast between calm control and verbal aggression is exactly what keeps this rivalry so intense, as both men continue building towards a fight that fans still see as inevitable.
Immediately after the fight. Now, AJ's response was, well, I'm not playing your game, I'm not going to jump in the ring, I'm not going to start bad-mouthing you, and you're not going to start pushing me around. You know, AJ's his own man, ultimately, as is Fury. Fury did it his way, where he thought he could incite a little bit of tension and make everybody start sitting up and believe that he actually meant business because he wants to fight AJ. I believe he wants to fight AJ because he knows now.
Eddie Hearn outlines a very ambitious roadmap that places Anthony Joshua right at the center of heavyweight boxing's biggest possible fights. The idea of back-to-back mega fights shows how serious they are about staying active at the top level. At the same time, there is clear awareness of the risk involved, especially with opponents like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury waiting. This balance between ambition and danger keeps Anthony Joshua's position extremely powerful, but also very demanding.
After what's happened. And he's ready and he's motivated, but we've got to do it right. The deal that we've been offered, which is to fight in July and then fight Tyson Fury in November, is not with Deontay Wilder in mind. I think the powers that be don't really want us to be in that type of fight.
Right.
We're up for that type of fight.
I was going to say...
AJ's also said to me, I will fight Wilder and I will fight Fury.
Shane Fury gives a very honest and realistic breakdown of where both fighters stand right now. He highlights the danger of any in-between fights, pointing out that one punch can change everything in heavyweight boxing. His view is that the winner of this path could easily move towards major names like Anthony Joshua, or even a world title shot. What stands out most is his belief that the gap between fighters has narrowed over time. Tyson Fury is still favored, but not as comfortably as before, showing how competitive the division has become and how unpredictable things now look at the top level.
Because listen, interim fights for both men, it's a dangerous thing. As you can see in there, listen, it takes one punch. So for me, if it's going to happen, let it happen next. And then the winner can probably go on to do AJ. If he wins, he can probably go and fight the world title. If Tyson wins, he can go and fight Usyk.
How does that fight go? How does your brother?
Listen, if you'd have asked me 5 or 6 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, however long it would have been, it'd have been 75-25 Tyson. Now it evens up. The odds has evened up. I reckon I'd favour Tyson, but it's a close one. Both men's aged. It's just who's aged most.
Johnny Nelson praises Anthony Joshua for staying composed in a moment where many fighters would have reacted emotionally. He points out how easy it is for egos to take over in public confrontations, especially when tensions are high. Instead, Anthony Joshua chooses control, making it clear that he dictates the terms of engagement. This kind of mindset shows maturity and experience at the elite level. It also strengthens his position in negotiations, because he does not get dragged into chaos or mind games. That controlled approach is a big reason why he remains one of the most disciplined names in heavyweight boxing today.
Anthony do? I rate him for what he did, because most fighters, ego gets involved, thinking this man's not mugging me off in front of all these people. You get up and say blah blah blah, you bite. AJ sat there and he just said, I'm your landlord. Me and you fight and be on my terms. It doesn't matter what you say, what you shout about.
Ajit Kabale keeps his opinion very uncertain when talking about a potential clash involving Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. He admits that the fight is difficult to predict, even after watching recent performances. This uncertainty actually adds more excitement because even fighters themselves are unsure how it would play out. The heavyweight division is so evenly balanced at the top that outcomes feel unpredictable. That is exactly why a fight involving Anthony Joshua generates so much global attention, because nobody can confidently call the result and every possibility feels realistic.
This was a good show, for the fans. Yeah, we will see. I think all the fans in Britain he will see the fight. AJ versus Fury.
Who do you think will win that fight after what you saw tonight?
I don't know.
I
don't know. But my prediction is very bad. I say to you, Fury win the fight maybe in the first 4 rounds. But you see the result. I don't know. Really, I don't know.
Do you think
Dillian White criticizes the way negotiations and statements are being handled, pushing the idea that fans just want action instead of words. He compares his own mindset to Anthony Joshua's approach, suggesting he prefers direct fights without long delays or conditions. This reflects a common frustration in boxing where big fights take time to be made. At the same time, it highlights how every major heavyweight has a different philosophy when it comes to handling pressure, business, and timing. It keeps the debate alive around who is more willing to take risks at the highest level.
No. He just said I'm the boss, I'm the landlord, and I don't know. He just says AJ stuff, just bollocks. Just say yes, it's the biggest fight in real boxing. Just say yeah, you let him get any younger, you let's get older. The fight's getting harder and harder to make. Just take the fight and just shut up. Just have the fight. That's the difference between me and him. I'll have it. I'll fucking have it. You don't need to go with me into a fight. I'll have it. You need to go with me and have it right away. It makes sense.
Amir Khan expresses excitement about Tyson Fury's return and immediately connects it to the possibility of a mega fight with Anthony Joshua. He sees this matchup as one of the biggest events British boxing could deliver. The idea of both fighters finally meeting in their prime condition continues to grow stronger with every appearance and interaction. Moments like face-offs and call-outs only increase anticipation, keeping fans locked in on the possibility of a historic heavyweight clash that could define an entire era of boxing.
Tyson Fury was fantastic today. He boxed really well, and it's great to see that he's back on the scene again. And obviously, he boxed so well today, 2 years out the ring, or something like that. I think he's back now, where we want to see that mega fight now with him and AJ. I think that fight could be next for both of them. What a massive fight that would be for British boxing. And let's see where it goes, man.
What did you think?
Sugar Hill focuses on the mindset and energy Anthony Joshua brings outside just the fight itself. He highlights how important it is for a fighter to enjoy the process and stay mentally free while preparing. That entertainment factor is also part of Anthony Joshua's identity, making him not just a competitor but a global attraction. When a fighter is mentally relaxed and confident in training camp, it often reflects directly in the ring. This balance between performance and personality is what keeps him relevant at the highest level of boxing.
I thought he did good. I thought he had fun. Things he had worked on in training camp. More importantly, just him being happy, being back an entertainer. Forget about boxing. He's an entertainer. He's entertaining at the press conference, the weigh-ins, on the ride.
Teofimo Lopez points towards the growing demand for a major clash involving Anthony Joshua, suggesting the timing is becoming perfect for a huge event. He acknowledges the long break and the anticipation building around his return. There is also respect in his assessment, as he leans slightly towards Anthony Joshua in a potential matchup. This shows how even elite fighters across divisions recognize his power and ability, keeping his name firmly in discussions for the biggest possible fights in boxing.
Yeah, I think that maybe one more fight and then the AJ for the end of the year this year. But I think that the people need it, man. It's been like long overdue. And but for Fury, seeing him the way he fought, he was getting his momentum here and there. And you know, I think in a 12-round fight now, coming into it, the next fight, I think we're going to see a better version of him.
What would you make of the Anthony Joshua fight? How would you see that one playing out?
I love Fury. I've always been a fan of Fury. I think that AJ might edge.
Johnny Nelson stresses how important timing is when it comes to a potential mega fight involving Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. He warns that delays could damage the magnitude of the event if either fighter suffers a loss. The idea is that this fight represents the peak of heavyweight boxing and should happen while both names are still at their strongest commercial and sporting value. This is why every appearance, every win, and every negotiation involving Anthony Joshua carries so much weight in the boxing world.
Regardless of all the heavyweights around the world, it is the biggest fight in boxing to it, even now. But you can't leave it too long. You know, and we've had the Gypsies warning. AJ got turned over. Fury's been retired. Now that you've got the chance for this to happen, you can't leave it too long, because one of them lose. That is no longer the biggest fight in boxing.
So AJ doesn't get a warm up.
And you know what? I think AJ and Fury is bigger than anybody you put in with who's.
Tommy Fury shows strong belief that a fight involving Anthony Joshua should finally be made without further delays. He recognizes the challenges and setbacks but pushes the idea that waiting longer only reduces the moment's impact. His tone reflects confidence that the fight is inevitable and the demand from fans is already there. This kind of pressure from active fighters keeps the conversation alive and adds urgency to making the biggest heavyweight matchups happen while interest is at its peak.
Of course, definitely, I see it happening this year. If AJ gets his shit together, like I say, he's gone through a lot. I understand that, but I don't think a tune-up fight helps or doesn't help. Let's just get the fight on. It should have happened 10 years ago, you know. So hopefully he can get done.
What we are seeing here is not just hype around a fight. It is the entire heavyweight division slowly aligning towards one moment where everything could collide. Anthony Joshua remains at the center of it all, with Mike Tyson praising his punching power, Tyson Fury creating chaos with his words, and every major voice in boxing giving their opinion on what happens next. The interesting part is how divided everyone is. Some believe Anthony Joshua has reached a new level of destructive power, others still question how he handles elite pressure, but nobody is ignoring him. That alone tells you his position in the sport. At the same time, the constant talk of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder shows that the division is still wide open and unpredictable. Every interview, every reaction, and every clip is building towards something massive that fans have been waiting for years to see. If Anthony Joshua steps into the right fight at the right time, it could define his entire career and reshape heavyweight boxing history. Now I want you to comment below who you think wins in the biggest version of this era, Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury, and also tell me if Mike Tyson is right about Anthony Joshua punching like him. Make sure you subscribe because the heavyweight story is only getting started and every update could change everything overnight.